The plane I'm about to show you just crashed. Its nose is sheared right off, slammed into a fire truck. All that equipment hanging out the front, the guts of the plane. Electrical wiring, broken instrument panels, twisted metal. In a moment, I'll show you video of the crash. It's disturbing.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop.
How does a crash like this happen in New York City's most central airport? At least 2 dead, dozens more injured. I'll show you. So far as I can tell, there was nothing unusual about the flight or even the flight path. Air Canada 8646 was a Montreal to New York flight. Takes off at around 10:35 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. It's only about an hour-long flight. Almost exactly 60 minutes later, it's on a straight-line approach to LaGuardia Airport in New York City, runway 4, which I'll show you why that matters in just a moment, but I'll say right now, it's this runway here. The plane is coming in from the southwest, landing pointed northeast. Except it doesn't make it all the way. Right here, just under halfway up the runway, it comes to a very sudden stop. Now, normally, when I've looked at how this flight operates on other days, it would continue this way, turning onto a taxiway at about 20 kilometers an hour. But right here, at a ground speed of 58 knots, just over 100 kilometers an hour, at that speed, the plane suddenly veers to the right and the signal dies. Let me show you what it hit.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
So what you're hearing there is the conversation between a fire truck operator and LaGuardia Air Traffic Control. Truck 1 speaking with LaGuardia Tower. When the driver is requesting to cross 4 at Delta, he's asking to cross an active runway. Runway 4 using the D taxiway. I dug up this diagram of LaGuardia so I can pinpoint exactly where taxiway D crosses runway 4. Again, just under halfway up the runway. The fire truck is apparently responding to a separate call in a different part of the airport. Someone noticing a strange smell on another plane. So, as is standard protocol, he needs permission from traffic control to get where he's going. And we can hear he gets it.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
But then, less than 3 seconds later, LaGuardia Tower chimes in again. There's been a mistake.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop.
By my count, that's 11 times in about 11 seconds. Air traffic control is trying to get the fire truck to stop.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
Bottom line, the warning came too late.
Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
An Air Canada jet has collided with a fire truck on the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
The plane was carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members. 2 pilots died.
The aftermath of that collision, this fire truck now completely destroyed.
Whenever there's a plane crash, often the first thing I'll do is check what the weather conditions are. I can see from these METAR reports, this is like standardized weather data for pilots. The crash happens between these 2 timestamps, local time. First thing to notice, the measurement about 15 minutes after the crash shows marginal visibility, which is not so bad that you can't see anything, but not so great either.
So it was operational, but it wasn't great weather. It was kind of marginal weather.
It's raining, lightly, and visibility for the pilots about 4 miles out. 7-knot winds, pretty light, and then we can start reading the codes for more hints about visibility. RABR. This is again a reference to rain, and BR is mist. Then we have cloud data. Few clouds at 4,500 feet, broken clouds at 9,000 feet, and overcast at 11,000 feet.
Once you go through the overcast layer, There may be other layers in there that are not overcast, that are what we call broken or scattered clouds.
But that's good weather. The airplane would be underneath 4,500 feet on the approach. It would see lights of the airport. So it's not, the actual cloud cover is not a big deal at all. So it's really not that, the weather's not much of a factor in terms of doing the operation. There wouldn't be any sort of flying challenges based on weather that I can see.
Yeah, none of the early analysis that I've seen puts any kind of firm blame on the weather specifically. Investigators will interview the people involved to see what, if any, role it did play. But it's worth noting that even in the moment, within minutes of the crash, the air traffic controller himself appears to take the blame.
Man, that wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier, and I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
On that note, the US president has already weighed in on what's happened. He seemed to support the idea that this was a case of human error.
On the plane crash that happened
Terrible. They made a mistake. It's a dangerous business. That's terrible.
When you're given clearance and you're on final to land on that runway, that aircraft who's given clearance owns that runway. But we hear clearly a communication that put a fire truck on a runway when by federal aviation regulations, that aircraft owned the runway.
But investigators will almost certainly also be asking the question whether air traffic control staff shortages might be to blame, because the controller in this case seemed to be playing two roles at once, directing air traffic and ground traffic at the same time.
Who was doing the talking? What frequency were they talking on? And were the positions that are staffed, that should be staffed at certain levels, were they in fact people in those positions? And that's a key factor in any of these kind of investigations. Were they doing more than they're supposed to do? Or was there a coordination issue?
For all my years in the FAA, staffing has always been a problem at facilities. They've always seemed to operate at the very minimal staffing amounts. It's always been difficult for controllers to get time off and to get shift changes, and that exists today.
As our airports go, LaGuardia is a very well-staffed airport. We're a couple controllers short in total, but it is a well-staffed airport. I've heard the rumor that there was only one controller in the tower, and that's not accurate.
Again, I'll underline, this crash just happened. Investigators could take weeks or months to figure it all out.
Oftentimes what we learn is information that we have at the start of an incident like this oftentimes is wrong. And so what we think we know right now, that's why it goes to the NTSB. They pressure test it, they investigate it, and then they come out with a report for all of you.
But an impact that would cause this kind of damage, it would have been incredibly violent. Some of these airport fire trucks can weigh more than some of these airplanes themselves. The two people killed in the crash, they were the pilots. As for the passengers, there were more than 40 people taken to hospital. Most have already been released. And the people in the fire truck, somehow all alive.